Hey, what's up, guys? This is Cody, and I have a fantastic video for you today. There's something very interesting going on with Bitcoin dominance, and I'm going to go ahead and break that down and explain what that means for the market. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and talk about what Bitcoin and crypto has been up to today. So Bitcoin's been up over 1.5%. Ethereum also up about the same. Binance Coin flat. XRP is actually up 26% for the week or so, and that's because of the fact that there are some hopes that the company behind XRP, Ripple, will win their lawsuit against the SEC. And then we have Cardano up 10% for the week and 5.5% for today, and things like Doge up 3.75%. Polygon Matic up about 2%, and Solana up almost 3.5%. So today has been overall a very strong green day for crypto. Now let's go ahead and talk about Bitcoin dominance here for a minute. So Bitcoin dominance has followed a very specific pattern over the last almost a year. And this pattern is that it tends to go down here close to about 39% for Bitcoin dominance, and then it shoots all the way up here to approximately 48%, and then it pulls back. So what we have here right now is Bitcoin dominance is Bitcoin's share of the crypto market. And so if this pattern keeps repeating, if it happens yet again, this latest move up that we have currently, and it's right now at about 47, almost 48%, I would expect a corresponding move downwards, just like we've seen for the previous times that this has happened. Now, what does this mean for the crypto market as a whole? Well, what it means is that we could potentially see that money go from Bitcoin to altcoins, and this could even potentially mark a new altcoin season. All right, and especially if we go ahead and take a look at the RSI on the weekly, what we're seeing here is that there is a strong resistance point, and especially when it goes above 70, it tends to spike and then come back down again. And if that's the case, then altcoins are going to be the beneficiary of Bitcoin dominance going down. And if Bitcoin dominance is going down, what that means is that the crypto market as a whole is becoming more risk on. They're moving from Bitcoin to Ethereum or Solana or Dogecoin or Shiba. They're moving to other coins because they feel that there is a greater return with those other coins. Now, we go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin. There's something very interesting that happened recently with Bitcoin, and that is something I want to point out here that I saw on Twitter. Now, this is by DB. He said he took this clip and he got this out of a filing, and this describes how the U.S. government has sold recently on March 14th almost 10,000 Bitcoin, so 9,861 Bitcoin, for a total of over $200 million, okay? So I've actually marked that out in the chart right here. This is when the government Bitcoin sale happened here. Most likely, they pushed the price up at this point during this candle by selling that massive amount of Bitcoin. And if I go ahead and put the volume in here, you can see that right there is obvious when you take a look at the massive volume candle that it was printed. So the government sold all their Bitcoin in that day, and they actually caused the price to move up from about 24,000 to about almost 26,700. Now that is pretty remarkable. And on top of that, that's not the only amount of Bitcoin that they have. They actually have quite a few left right now, up over 41,000 Bitcoin, and they're going to be liquidating it in 4 more batches over the course of the calendar year. Now that is amazing, and it's something very interesting to think about, because the government liquidated this massive amount of Bitcoin, and not only did it not really push the price down, but there was a lot of buyers that stepped in, and the price actually went higher after that point. So that is very interesting from a Bitcoin perspective. Now, as for Bitcoin's own chart, TA, it is related to Bitcoin dominance, right? Because if there's more people buying Bitcoin, it's obviously going to increase the price. But where it is right now, we've talked about previously this being kind of like a vital area for Bitcoin. I put the box back in here. But this vital area for Bitcoin still exists, and I still expect this area right here to be fairly strong resistance. But if it can push through this level, then we can get back to the levels that we saw back in June of 30,000+, 32,000 or so for Bitcoin. Now, that being said, I also pointed out how Ethereum has been kind of a laggard, where it hasn't even gone anywhere close to its previous highs, especially when we talk about August, when it came up here just before the merge and pushed up here and then immediately got rejected. Now, if this Bitcoin dominance goes down, I fully expect Ethereum to push back above this 2,000 level, and I fully expect Ethereum to come back up here and go back to the June levels that we saw before, and that's at a level of well over 2,000, probably around 2,400, 2,000 to 2,400 in this region here. That's my expectations for Ethereum if we do see that that shift from the Bitcoin dominance going back down again, which is what the chart is telling me. Now, I also expect Binance Coin to also be a beneficiary. What we're going to wind up seeing is most likely it coming back up here to about 450. But, I mean, that's a possibility. Again, if this altcoin season happens, that is something that's on the table. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at something like Solana, it's been beaten down pretty heavily over the last couple of weeks and months. What we're seeing right now for Solana is we could potentially get a run up here to about $36 before we wind up seeing a huge amount of resistance. Now, I also want to go ahead and cover the dollar index real quick, because the dollar index, I posted this on Twitter earlier, I'm seeing kind of a head and shoulders pattern play out right now for the dollar index. You have one shoulder here and one shoulder here and a head on the top here. And if this pattern fully plays out, then what you're going to wind up seeing is a retreat back to 97, the 97 level. And what this means, broadly speaking, for crypto and for Bitcoin is Bitcoin tends to move inversely compared to the strength of the dollar. So as the dollar moves down, Bitcoin's going to move up. And as Bitcoin moves up, most likely the rest of the crypto market will rally as well. So the dollar has been up dramatically ever since the beginning of this bear market, because the Fed kept tightening and tightening and tightening, increasing their Fed funds rate. And as a result, we had this parabolic rise upwards. Now we're starting to see it actually start to lose a little bit of momentum and even come back down again. And this pattern, I think has a very good chance of playing out and pushing Bitcoin, or pushing the dollar back down to $97. All right. Now, next, I want to go ahead and talk about the total market cap for crypto. So now it's at 1.1 billion, almost 1.2 billion. Now, about half of that is made up of altcoins. And like I said, if Bitcoin dominance goes down, then I expect this altcoin chunk to increase significantly as a result. Now, if you guys are interested in thinking about, well, what altcoins would you like to get into, or if you want to go ahead and do some research on altcoins, I always recommend to go to Token Terminal and do some research on this. I have a whole video based on what you should be looking for and what I look for in my deep dives. And I come over here to Token Terminal and take a look at some of the fundamentals. You can see things like transaction fees and total value locked and number of active users, very important, as well as your active developers. Definitely recommend you come over here to Token Terminal and check that out. Now, I also want to go ahead and point out that Binance has their portfolio on Nansen as well, and you guys can look and see what Binance has been investing in and what tokens they hold too, to give you kind of an idea of what altcoins they have been looking at. And this, you can find this on Nansen portfolio. Just type in Binance and you can figure this out and look at their totals for crypto. Now, my own personal crypto portfolio, again, mostly allocated in Bitcoin, but I also have Ethereum. I also have Solana. I have Luna and Cardano, and we have Matic and DOT as well. So that's my own. And I'm definitely interested in increasing my share of my altcoins as well. I've just been primarily allocated in Bitcoin right now. All right. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think about this. Are you guys going to go out and look at some more altcoins and do some research on altcoins? Do you think that Bitcoin dominance will come back down again like the chart suggests? And do you think the dollar is finally weakening and finally giving up its position of strength relative to other currencies? I'm definitely interested in hearing about that. This is Cody the Coin Raptor, and I hope to catch you guys in the next video.